Do you sometimes feel that the world is tailored for extroverts? Do you wish you could be more outgoing, communicative, fun and expressive? Or effortlessly network and make friends? I recently grappled with these questions and I experienced self-doubt because I'm an introvert. I criticized myself for not having the engaging entertainment energy that draws people to content on YouTube and Instagram. I wondered how easily others share personal moments on social media and receive immense praise and engagement. I fear that I could never achieve that level of connection, thinking that people might struggle to resonate with my content since opening up is harder for me. I often wonder if my posts are worth the effort and the audience's time. Will they add value or just contribute to the endless social media noise? I envy those who could network, collaborate, or confidently showcase their art. I worried about how my introversion would impact my art and my business. I also remembered all stories, teachers telling that I lived in my own world, people asking if I was okay just because I was quiet, and being misjudged for low confidence, even getting lower grades because of it. I remember clearly teachers and professors telling me that they would be happy to give me a higher grade because my knowledge is good, but the problem is that I should speak with higher confidence. But anyway, thankfully, I quickly realized that this thought process was wrong and unproductive. Instead of comparing myself to others, I decided to focus on the positive aspects of being an introvert. There are so many things to appreciate about introversion that can make us better artists or content creators. So I wanted to share this with you. If you are still watching, you are likely an introverted artist or YouTuber, and this video might help you as well. Creating art isn't a group activity most of the time. You need to spend a lot of time alone not only to make art, but to come up with new ideas, refine them, and play with them as long as it's necessary. For some people, it's extremely difficult to be alone for an extended period of time as they need constant external stimulation and social interaction. But for you, being alone is not just something you have to bear and deal with. It's something you crave and enjoy. Making art is not only a creative act for you, but also a means to recharge and fill yourself with energy. Do you know those types of videos where you desperately need a quick answer to a specific question, like how to store your oil paint without it drying out? And you expect to open the video and get the answer immediately. But instead what you find is a 12-minute video full of unnecessary chatter, and only at the very end do you finally get the answer. Or even worse, the information is scattered throughout a sea of additional irrelevant details. And you think to yourself, I could make a video less than a minute long with the same information. For someone who loves to talk, making a short video can be incredibly difficult because they can always say a bit more. But for you, there is nothing more challenging than speaking more than necessary. As an introvert, you probably excel at cutting out the unnecessary blubber and getting straight to the point. This is a rare trait nowadays, and it can make your video stand out with the immediate, quick, and straightforward explanation. Believe me, we are all so grateful for that. What if I offered you a deal? You could live comfortably from your art, you could share your knowledge, your values and stories, whatever you want, but with one condition. No one would ever know who you are. No names, no faces, and no spotlight. Your identity would remain hidden forever. Would you take the deal? I think most introverted artists would accept it in a second. Some people love the spotlight and would do anything to be the center of attention. But as an introvert, you want the exact opposite. You do not seek to be the center of attention or enjoy the spotlight. Yet, despite this, you frequently share your art. You build a community, or you even make videos to share your thoughts. This means you deeply believe you have something valuable to share, whether it's educational, entertaining, light-hearted, or profoundly philosophical. Your belief in the value of what you offer is so strong that you are willing to step into the spotlight from time to time. And you know what? There is a big difference between speaking because you have something to say and speaking because you have to say something. You know what many people are missing these days? Patience. The capacity to accept and tolerate delays, problems, or suffering without becoming annoyed or anxious. And guess what happens a lot while you make art? Exactly, delays, problems, and often suffering. Because art can be difficult if it's meaningful. Unless you are a born genius, when you first pick up the craft and start taking it seriously, you will definitely go through rough times. Even after mastering the craft, you will face challenges and difficulties if you really want to grow as an artist. Many people abandon their art because they cannot overcome obstacles and become anxious and annoyed. This feeling isn't unknown to introverts either, but because of your higher level of patience, you don't give up so easily. You have a greater chance to grow, develop, and improve as an artist with this attitude. Once you understand that the process is more important than the end result, it becomes easier to enjoy your work without stressing over the outcome. So many people need external validation and care too much about how others will receive their thoughts and opinions. If you are afraid of what others will think if you speak your mind, then how can you be authentic in art or any other aspect of life? This fear causes a lot of headaches for many people. But if you are an introvert, you are much less prone to such thoughts. Even if they arise occasionally, they disappear quickly. In general, introverts care less about what others think of them. What can be more authentic in art than doing what you want without worrying about the other's judgment? Your introversion is your path to authenticity. This also shields you better from the criticism because you can detach your feelings from it and evaluate it rationally, deciding whether it's worth considering. You won't take just any criticism to heart. You know, trolls are everywhere and nobody likes getting negative or offensive comments. However, as an introvert, you are likely to care less about them and you can decide what to ignore, allowing you to continue your day without feeling bad about such comments. Validation is not the only thing you don't need from the external world. You also don't rely on external motivation. Art and content creation are difficult, with many ups and downs. But you have to keep going, and thankfully, you don't need someone to tell you this, because you have an inbuilt motivation that doesn't depend on the outside world. When you have a bad day or a bad week, the only thing you need most is positive self-talk and self-motivation. And well, this video is also coming from that source. Your internal drive is what keeps you moving forward no matter the challenges. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you felt bored? Or let me rephrase. When was the last time you were alone and you felt bored? To be honest, I can't remember, it was so long time ago. But many people go crazy without constant stimulation or other people around them. And also the attention spans are decreasing these days. But here's the good news for you. As an introvert, your attention span can be exceptional, a trait that's becoming increasingly rare. You can pay attention to or observe things for longer periods than most people these days, and chances are you have a variety of interests. This means that you can listen, learn, absorb information, and build substantial knowledge quickly and deeply. Whether it's the technical aspect of art, marketing and business, or different filming and editing techniques, your capacity for learning can elevate you into the top tier of expertise. Of course, it's needless to say that creating beautiful and meaningful artwork does not depend on being an introvert or an extrovert. With practice, commitment, and devotion, we can all achieve our goals. We may take different paths, of course, and each journey is unique, but the most important thing is to learn from one another. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, and what matters is encouraging each other and accepting our differences. But our character and inbuilt personality should not serve as an excuse or obstacle for improvement. If you are at the stage in your career where you want to build a network and meet other artists and collectors, make an effort to develop the necessary qualities. Ask tips from your extroverted friends or have a wingman accompany you to events and let them start some discussions for you. Observe and learn from them. On the other hand, if you feel uncomfortable being alone and it hinders your art making, then, for example, try putting on a podcast, music, or some other background stimulus while you work. This can help you feel less alone. But you can also schedule your art sessions before going out, so you have something exciting to look forward after the period of being alone. Do you have a favorite aspect of being an introverted or an extroverted artist? And what is the one thing that you need to improve the most? I am genuinely interested, so please drop a comment if you feel like. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.
I'm going crazy for you. I feel like the ocean.